out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble. Excuse me. When it goes to court here, is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
It'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Five, 3,
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Bill McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a
great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet Statewide Sportsline. CityNet, cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Brad and Greg are both out of the studio tonight, but we've got a lot of ground to cover. Greg, of course, WVU football spring media availability, and we hope to get some post-practice comments from head coach Rich Rodriguez on the air a little bit later on in the hour. Brad, we're going to hear from in just a couple of minutes. I spoke with Brad moments after WVU shoot-around and their film study this afternoon. That was about an hour and a half or so ago, so we'll drop in on that. Brad, straight from the shoot-around in the MGM Grand Arena facility. The team shot around for a bit. Then they had their final film session, and at this point it's probably mealtime, and then head to the arena for the game at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll hear from Brad in just a couple of minutes. First of all, some news concerning the Mountaineer football team. Also, that huge Big 12 baseball series, first-place showdown between West Virginia and UCF, which starts tomorrow night. Tyler Barnette, who calls the games. He's the analyst on ESPN Plus for the WVU baseball games. He'll join us with a preview of West Virginia and UCF. That's coming up. But the news from this afternoon, West Virginia, the football team got a verbal commitment for the class of 2027 linebacker Mason Surovac. He has committed to West Virginia. He had visits to some Big Ten schools and also some interest from the likes of Toledo, UMass, and Ohio University. He is an inside linebacker, a Mike linebacker, and he commits to West Virginia. 6'3", 230 pounds out of Olmsted Falls High School in Ohio. Again, picking West Virginia over offers from Buffalo, Central Michigan, Toledo, UMass, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, and a few others. And again, some Big Ten schools were in there kind of looking around as well. So that's the news from today as West Virginia gets a verbal commitment from Mason Surovac, inside linebacker for the class of 2027. And, of course, we'll have much more on that coming up tomorrow when Greg is back in the studio. All right, the visit with Brad about 90 minutes or so ago following the shoot-around and the film study. And the first question for Brad, he was with us live last night right after practice. He talked about the enthusiasm of the practice, and the Mountaineer players looked genuinely enthused and ready to play in this tournament. And I asked him if that carried over to today.
You know, it was, and I just continue to be impressed. And I know at times I sound like a broken record with these guys, but it's really been impressive how just consistent they are in their game prep, and especially when you talk about today and tonight, Kyle. I mean, now at any point you could be playing your last game, and as I said last night to you, some of these seniors, it might be the last game they ever play, and yet we go into film session today after the shoot-around, and these guys are all locked in, and they're regurgitating the scouting report back to the coaches as we're sitting in this. This is not a group that's minds are wandering or they're thinking about other things, and as I told you last night, I don't know that automatically translates into you shooting really well tonight, you getting offensive rebounds, and you winning the game. But I know this team looks and is preparing exactly as it has all year, and hopefully that translates into a good performance during the game.
So you scout this team, and obviously we've talked all week about Okore. Who are his comparables, do you think?
Well, it's a good question, and I said this the other night. In terms of just raw athleticism and the stop-and-start ability that he has in terms of quickness, he's a lot like Honor Huff. Now, Honor's more of a three-point shooter, as we know, one of the best in the country, and Corey can certainly make threes, but he's a guy that wants to get to the basket. But I just think in terms of speed and stop-start ability, that's what he brings you. Probably similar to the Colorado point guard that we saw, young freshman, that could get to the basket, but I think a Corey is better. I think a Corey's right up there with the very best scorers we've seen in this whole tournament. So, again, mission critical number one is to try and slow him down. I don't know that you stop him, much like we said about a lot of these great freshman scorers in the Big 12. I don't know that you go into it trying to stop him because I'm not sure you can. But if you can force difficult shots, make him score over either Jasper or your interior guys, and then limit them to that one shot. I think that's one of those, if you're looking for an off-the-radar key tonight, the ability to keep them to one shot. They're going to take a lot of threes on you most likely. When they get misses, you have got to get on the glass and corral it and get those. You hold them to one shot, you probably feel pretty good at the end of the night.
It seems, though, that's one of the things they do pretty well, 360 offensive rebounds on the year, and they've got multiple guys that look to go to the offensive glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kyle, but on the flip side, that's one of the things West Virginia does exceedingly well. Led the Big 12 for most of the season in defensive rebounding. So, as it often does this time of year, comes down to effort and enthusiasm and want to. So, two strengths there. They get on the offensive glass. They do have some good size inside. West Virginia has been very good at the defensive rebounding. Now it's about wanting to in this particular game and this evening. Can you go up, win the games on the line, and go make those plays and make those rebounds? That's what this thing comes down to, the three-point variance and just the want to. Do you want to go get on the glass and be more physical? That was one of Ross's messages here today at the end of practice was let's go out and be the more physical team. We play in a physical league. Let's go show that tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's the next question is who else scares you? You've got Gieler, who actually is the leading three-point shooter on the team with 84. Their second best scorer is out. He's been out since about midway through the year, and they've got some interesting backstories. They've got a guy, Jeremy Dent-Smith from Division II. They've got A.J. Rahosi from Division III. So, I mean, they've scoured college basketball, I guess, to bring some guys in. So who else there concerns you?
Yeah, Gieler's one. That would be next on the list after a Corey because he's a catch-and-shoot guy. 80% of his shots are from three, so if he gets hot, you've got a problem. And he gets it off fast. We've been watching a lot of film on him the last couple of days, and when he gets it, he doesn't need much space to get it up. So, again, you're so concerned with team defense and a Corey driving to the basket, that's what they're hoping to do, is if the shot's not there for him, he kicks out, you get Gieler out on an island with a quick shot for a three. You mentioned Dent-Smith, comes from a smaller school, as you said. He can shoot it, and he can get hot. So, overall, this is a really good three-point shooting team, so it's not just the Corey show and that's all they have. So, overall, those are the guys that you want to focus on. But just in terms of schematics, that's the second part I'm most concerned about is the potential three-point variance. Could work in your favor, could get some misses. You feel pretty good. But we've also seen some teams play West Virginia, Xavier, for example, get blistering hot and make those shots, and then it turns into a completely different game.
Defensive plan for a Corey, is it Jasper Floyd? Will there be guys rotate? What's the plan there?
Yeah, it'll be Jasper first and foremost, as we've said all year, and you've heard me say it a million times. You got one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, so it's going to be Jasper first and foremost. That's the part where you're going to miss Amir a little bit. That was your backup guy, and you knew you had a really good defender that could come in and either spell Jasper when he needs a break, or if there was some foul trouble, then you had a second guy coming in. I think tonight you'll see a little more Mo Ugasuk, who's had 2 tremendous weeks of practice. So for whatever that's worth in terms of translating in game performance, if there's a correlation, then Mo should have a really good game tonight because he's been outstanding at both ends of the floor in practice. So I think he's a guy Ross is going to ask to come in and guard a Corey quite a bit. So if you're looking for a wild card X factor in tonight's game, keep an eye on Mo Ugasuk.
And with Amir Jenkins out, like you mentioned, how much more at the point does that mean for Honor Huff?
Yeah, it'll mean more, but Kyle, we've done that kind of all year. Is there's been multiple games where they've taken Jasper off the ball and put Honor on it, and part of that's just because it becomes more difficult to guard him when he's already got it in his hands. You can face guard him a lot easier when he's off the ball. You can go sit right up on him and force him into a corner, but when he has it in his hands, then you've got to make a decision, and that's where his playmaking can really help you. So, yeah, you'll see him handle the ball more, but that's not something that's unusual, and that's not just because Amir is out of the game tonight.
Brad, I think we talked last night about when we brought you on, we said, hey, this is the best game, at least on paper, best game of the tournament, Stanford, West Virginia, but Oklahoma and Colorado played a great game last night in the 90s in overtime. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, they did. I think the Crown folks got a bonus with that one, especially because, again, this time of year is just so unpredictable, Kyle. Colorado has multiple guys out. 3 of their best players have declared they're in the transfer portal, weren't playing last night. You got an Oklahoma team that comes in with the best metrics of any team in this tournament, so you didn't think you'd have a game there, and yet there it was. Turns out to be a fantastic overtime game. You're right. So I think a little bit of a surprise in that regard that Oklahoma was kept close by Colorado, but I think that also speaks to what we've seen all year, and everybody listening has seen all year with this league. That's what the Big 12 has been. There's just not a lot of gap between the 5th and 16th team in the Big 12, even with some key pieces out. So I think that's another part of tonight's game. I'm hoping that plays through. I think there's not any doubt the Big 12 was a better and deeper league than what the ACC was. I'm hopeful that shows up in this particular game, and the battles that West Virginia has been through over the last 6 months, night in and night out, hopefully that gives them an edge tonight, and they need it in what I still think will be a close game either way. Coin flippy type of game, back and forth.
And Baylor won. I mean, you have to put it in perspective in terms of the competition, but Baylor with a pretty good performance, moving on as well, beating Minnesota last night 67-48.
Yeah, I think that what shows, and we were talking this morning at breakfast about that with the coaches, I think that shows you what we all knew about Baylor is there's some high-end talent on that team. You talk about a group that has better talent than where it finished in the Big 12 standings. That there's no doubt it's that group with Yesufu and Cam Carr who are going to play for pay over the next few years and play professionally. What happened to that Baylor team is, again, what's scary in this time of year. They had Rob Wright, the point guard, who had already signed a contract with Baylor to return, and BYU swoops in on the final day of the portal session and steals him away for a bigger fee. He goes to Baylor, as we know, one of the best point guards in America. And if you don't have a solid point guard, it's going to be tough, and I think that changed the fortunes of that Baylor team. But point remains, they have a couple high-end dudes that can take over in late-season, late-game situations, and I think that's what you saw last night.
So the Crown has already set Saturday's game. That Oklahoma-Baylor game is going to be the first game at 1:30, and then the winners of tonight's games, Stanford, West Virginia, Rutgers, Creighton, that'll be the second game Saturday at 4 o'clock. Is it? I know this is going to be. It's going to be obviously a challenge and a really, really fun game to watch. But is it too simple to say the winner of tonight's game gets all the way to the finals?
Well, I think that's what you're hoping. It's certainly on paper. Neither Rutgers or Creighton matches up with what this Stanford team looks like. But I'm real hesitant to say that this time of year. But yeah, I can understand why you say that. Yes, I think this is one. If you get through this and then you get a day to catch your breath tomorrow, that you feel like, yes, you take your swings against either of those two teams and you like where you'll be. But, yeah, I'm probably not ready to go just that far just yet, Kyle. We'll talk tomorrow if that's the situation, but probably not ready to go all that way yet.
All right, last thing, you've watched this team practice 2 days. You've gone through the film studies. What are the keys? What are 2 or 3 or 4 things West Virginia has to do tonight to win this game?
Yeah, I gave you one in terms of just the one shot. You've got to really limit their offensive rebounding and make it difficult to shoot. West Virginia's done that all year. That's been a strength. This defense is top 20 nationally. Make it hard on what can be a very good offensive team tonight, and you're in great shape. I think another one is don't turn the ball over. And, again, that's always a West Virginia key. But Stanford defensively isn't great, but also not terrible. But they love to swipe and pick and slap from behind. So if West Virginia comes out, say, like it did to start that game against BYU in the Big 12 tournament where it's sloppy and you're giving unnecessary turnovers, I think you might have a problem. If you can protect that basketball and limit turnovers, then you've got a chance to finish on the offensive end, and then everything starts to flow better. Then the management of the clock starts to work. You control the tempo of the game. You finish at the basket, now you're cooking. So don't turn it over. And then third, the easy thing, and I know we all snicker at this, but it's the biggest key in basketball, you've got to make shots. You've got to find some guys tonight, whether that's below to the basket, whether that's Honor going out on a high note in a Mountaineer jersey and burying 4, 5, 6 threes. Somebody's got to make some shots tonight and carry the offense to help your defense along.
Brad Howe there from Las Vegas from earlier this afternoon after West Virginia shoot-around and film session. He mentioned that Oklahoma-Colorado game. Isaiah Johnson, of course, is departing Colorado via the transfer portal. The tremendous freshman led them in scoring. Didn't play last night. Their third leading scorer Sebastian Rancic, he's in the portal, didn't play, but Colorado still took Oklahoma to overtime, winning 90-86. The Sooners won that game 90-86 over Oklahoma, and the Big 12 1-1 in this tournament so far. Baylor beats Minnesota 67-48, so it'll be Oklahoma against Baylor Saturday, and the winners of tonight's game will square off as well. Coming up, we'll have more on this game. Honor Huff, some comments from earlier this week I thought were really insightful. Not only, and we've talked about him this week, but not only emphasizing the point of how much this team really wanted to keep playing and playing as a unit, and also some pretty insightful comments on what this coaching staff has meant to him and what he would say to potential transfers and potential young players that are considering coming to play for West Virginia. We'll get into those comments, but next we'll talk baseball. West Virginia against UCF from Monongalia County Ballpark, a first-place Big 12 showdown starting tomorrow night. Tyler Barnette will join us in a moment with a preview. When you choose CityNet, you're choosing a 100% West Virginia-owned internet provider with local support. No call centers, no runaround, just fast, dependable fiber internet backed by people who live and work right here. Plus, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a year. Visit citynet.net today.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Golf Week called Pete Dye Golf Club one of America's best modern courses. Golf Digest recently called Pete Dye one of America's 100 greatest courses, and Pete Dye calls it 18 of the most exciting and memorable holes I've ever built on one course. Pete Dye Golf Club invites you to join the only course named after the legendary designer himself. National, corporate, and local memberships available now for a limited time. Visit PeteDye.com to learn more. Come play where the Mountaineers play at Pete Dye Golf Club.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off, or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have 2 vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and
Sitting at Statewide Sportsline for this Thursday. Greg's over at football, and he sent me a message saying that they're behind. Their Coach Rodriguez, as of a few minutes ago, hadn't started his media briefing, so it does not look like tonight we'll get any of that on the air tonight, so we'll have to wait one more day, get that tomorrow when Coach Hunter's back in the studio. Of course, Brad joined us via phone. He's in Vegas with the Mountaineer basketball team preparing to play Stanford in about an hour and a half. Tomorrow night, the first place Big 12 showdown begins, West Virginia and UCF. And Tyler Barnette will be on ESPN Plus calling the games with Lanny Fratteri. He joins us now for a preview. And Tyler, good evening. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Kyle, no problem.
Magical start to the season, and we shouldn't be surprised by anything considering what's gone on the last 2 years with this Mountaineer team going, winning a regional, going to a super regional in each of the last 2 years. But with this 20-5 start, 7-2 in conference play, chance to take over first place if they can beat UCF this weekend, what has surprised you? What part of this team is the most impressive, and what is the most surprising?
I think it's the versatility. Whenever you look at the offensive side, the defensive side, you've got guys that can move up and down the lineup. You've got guys that can move in different spots on the field. So that versatility lets you keep the best 9 guys in the lineup. People always say that. We want to get our best 9 hitters on the field, but in order to be able to do that, you need guys like Gavin Kelly who can not only catch but play second base, and guys like Arnemani Guzman, who can not only play right field but can sub in at first base, and Brody Crutcher, who learns a brand new position at first base this year and is stellar at it. And then you've got Matthew Gravlin, who's been a career catcher, who's able to move out into left field. And not only is he a great left fielder, but he can steal home. So you've got guys that are just they can move into any position necessary in order to get the best 9 guys in the lineup. And here we are talking about the best part of the West Virginia team so far has been, the offense and the versatility, but you've got some of the best pitchers in the conference on this staff as well.
Yeah, speak to that a little bit, because there was a slight change in the weekend rotation last week, and I assume we'll see that again coming up this weekend against UCF, but with Max Yell kind of, I guess, moving up a spot in the rotation, 5-0 in 7 starts, 39 innings pitched, 48 strikeouts. I mean, his recovery is amazing. His impact on this staff has been amazing.
Well, he was a guy that was picked up to go play pro ball last year, but decided to stay here at West Virginia because he talked to Coach Saban, and Saban said, "What do you want your legacy to be? Do you want it to be a guy who had it but just didn't put it in here and went to the pros?" And he's stuck around. He went through his rehab, and he was very deliberate in his rehab about how he pitched and how he rehabbed, and it's showing this year. One of the things we're going to see, 3 of the top 5 ERA guys potentially in this series. So Matt Salzer from UCF, Max Yale, and Camden Wicker of UCF. All 3 of those guys, top 3 in ERA. Salzer with a 6.4, Max Yale with a 1.38, and Wicker with a 2.78. Salzer did miss his last start due to a tight, I think they said back soreness. He's typically their Saturday guy, but Camden Wicker is their Sunday guy, and he's got a 2.78 ERA, number 3 in the conference. So, 3 guys there. UCF and West Virginia are a lot alike. They're guys they're teams that pride themselves on pitching, and then they're not going to be, we saw Arizona State with the long ball. These teams are just going to grind you out. They're going to single and double you to death, and we see a lot of that in UCF as well, and then in West Virginia. Now, pitching-wise, you're also going to see 5 of the top 10 pitchers in opposing batting average. Salzer first, Wicker second, Yale third, and then you go down to West Virginia starter, Chanson Cole in at 7th, and Dawson Montesa at 10th. So this entire series is really going to see 5, maybe 6 of the top 10 pitchers in the entire conference.
And UCF, West Virginia, we know they're for real because of what they've accomplished the last couple of years, but UCF, they've got home sweeps over Arizona, who went to the College World Series last year, Oklahoma State, and they won a series on the road against preseason favorite TCU. So they've won a huge series on the road already, which this is what it'll be starting tomorrow, and then they've been pretty much unbeatable at home with this 8-1 start in the league. So it sounds different that West Virginia and UCF are playing for first place in this league, but it's legitimate.
Yeah, and when you break down the records, UCF has gotten to play a lot of games at home. They're 15-3 at home, just 2-3 on the road. So this is their first real road test. You know, when you look at West Virginia's schedule, going to Arizona State, not only a historically dangerous team, but a team that really is the polar opposite of West Virginia, where West Virginia is going to play defense and then they're going to hit, where Arizona State relies on the long ball. And you have to do that in Tempe, so that makes it so much more difficult. But then, you get Central Florida or the UCF, a team like you, on your home turf. It makes it a little bit easier, and the fact that they're only 2-3 in away series, that makes it a little bit more favorable, toward West Virginia.
One more thing here, and again, we shouldn't be surprised with anything this staff does, but they go out, they pretty much rebuild the pitching staff. Again, get guys from the Division II level that come up and have an impact, and the hitters that they've brought in. We knew last year Gavin Kelly was going to be a superstar, and he's done that, hitting over .415. But bringing in Paul Schoenfeld, bringing in Matt Einich, bringing in Tyrus Hall, bringing in Gravlund, who you mentioned. I mean, it really is amazing how this staff goes out, identifies guys, and they're plug and play.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy. It's just wherever they fit in the lineup. Okay, well, we have a hole in right field. We'll just put somebody out there because they're going to be okay at it.
Yeah, we'll coach them up. We'll coach them up, and they'll handle it.
Right, and what I think it was John Kruk who used to say is like, no, lady, I'm not an athlete. I'm a baseball player. That's kind of the opposite of what Steve Sabins has here. He wants athletes, and he's going to put them wherever he can fit them. If guys are hitting, you've got a spot in the lineup, and it's not only one of the things like we've got the best 9 guys on the field at any point in time. If you need to make a substitution, they've got guys in the dugout who can play as well. So, the way they've been able to rebuild and reload, and not only just this year, but the way they did it last year too. It has really been incredible to see if you can get guys that fit your system and can do the things that you want them to do. If you can get everybody going in the same direction, the car can roll a whole lot faster.
Well, Mountaineer fans have responded to baseball the last few years. They took on the challenge of selling out 2 NCAA women's tournament basketball games, and I'm sure the place will be rocking this weekend. The game time, 6:30 on Friday, 4 o'clock on Saturday, and noon on Sunday. WVU and UCF for first place in the Big 12 baseball conference. It should be a lot of fun.
It should be, and this is one of those weekends that if West Virginia can get that crowd support to push them over the edge to either get a series win or a series sweep, that bodes well for the postseason. Right now, D1 baseball has WVU and it's a number 7 spot, which would not only mean that if they keep winning that they would host a regional, but if they win that regional, they could possibly host a super regional.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking about this West Virginia team and a super regional in Morgantown. If the fans can get behind it, I think that's something that could possibly happen.
Yeah, I saw that today too. West Virginia projected as the number 7 national seed right now. So, again, hosting a regional, if you win that, you host a super regional. That would be incredible, and, again, another first for this program. All right, Tyler, we'll be watching and listening this weekend. Enjoy it, and thanks for your time.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
Tyler Barnette there of Metro News and of ESPN Plus. He'll be on the ESPN Plus calls this weekend for West Virginia, UCF. Getting a lot of traffic, a lot of Miles Sadler traffic on the text line. We'll get to that. And, again, we'll talk more about this WVU Stanford matchup. We'll hear from Honor Huff and your text, 304-TALK 304. Again, Coach Rich started a little bit late, so we probably won't have those comments to play for you before 7 o'clock. But Greg will be back tomorrow, and we'll cover them in depth. This is the CityNet statewide sports line from the Health Plan Studio since 1979. The Health Plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The Health Plan.
If sinus and allergy discomfort are impacting your daily routine, the experts at the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center can help you find relief. Our team of ear, nose, and throat specialists work together to help you breathe easier. With exceptional care for sinus and allergy issues, we provide adults and children with the most advanced ENT care available in West Virginia. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit wvumedicine.org/ENT.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
There's often an assumption that my nasal congestion, my sneezing, my runny nose, these are just things that I have to live with. A lot of times patients will tell me, I've tried every allergy medication, every nasal spray, I've done it all, doc. And then I'll frequently say, what about this? You need to come to the WVU Medicine Sinus and Allergy Center. If those things haven't worked, there are new options, new treatments. There's probably something we can do to help. You don't just have to live with those symptoms.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
Sportsline for Thursday, Mountaineers against Stanford coming up. We're going to hear from Honor Huff. A lot of Miles Sadler texts today. He played a game on ESPN2 that was broadcast nationally. A lot of people out there watching that. Texter says Miles Sadler on ESPN2 today. He's an amazing talent. Looking forward to seeing him in a Mountaineer uniform. Texter points out that 4 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN2, Miles Sadler and his Arizona team will be in action again, the semifinals of the Nationals in Indianapolis, and he had 25 points today, Sadler wearing number 1. Another fan who watched Miles Sadler on ESPN today, his team won, he had 25, definitely the real deal. Texter says, watch the last 4 minutes or so of Miles Sadler. It was like looking in a mirror. I can't shoot free throws either. This texter says, get the kid shooting more than 50% from the line. We'll definitely have a keeper, solid player, great pickup on Coach Hodges' part from what I saw. Excited about him being a Mountaineer. So Miles Sadler captivating Mountaineer Nation today on ESPN2 and again tomorrow. All right, let's hope Honor Huff finishes his Mountaineer career with a flourish. Honor Huff earlier this week talking about wanting to go out and play in this tournament with these guys, just looking to play more basketball.
I mean, I can't speak for, anybody else, but our group, we just love each other too much. I think that's the greatest part about us playing longer, is just being able to be with each other and these experiences that we have together to keep them going for as long as possible. So I don't think it was a thought in anybody's mind to not play, just off the simple fact of that. And also, we just love to compete and play basketball. I mean, if you could put a college uniform on again, why would you not, especially for us seniors?
So it's not the tournament. It's not the NCAA tournament. No one's saying it is, but it's an opportunity to go out and win a tournament.
I mean, yeah, obviously the ultimate goal is always the tournament, and I was fortunate enough last year to be in kind of the same situation with Chattanooga, and we ended up winning the NIT, and that felt, at that point, there's only, 3 teams to end the season with a win. That was us, Nebraska, and Florida. So to be able to keep the momentum going with this program with a win like that in a national tournament, would be great for not only this program, for us to remember that for, we'll still obviously remember this season regardless, but to end it off like that and confetti coming down and just being in such a great mood with each other, it would be opposite of what we felt at BYU, just the tears and the emotion. So it would be like a good emotional, journey to go win something like that, even though it's not the tournament.
Yeah, an opportunity to continue to play even after that loss to BYU in the Big 12 Conference postseason tournament. What about this team? Honor Huff says it's a good team and an even better group of people.
I think Coach Hodge recruited strategically, and I think he's done that his whole career, but obviously I'm more endowed with this program because this is where he coached me at. But I think the way he recruited was he wasn't going to put a bad person, it don't matter what they do on the basketball court, a bad person in this locker room, and I think he achieved that immensely because this group is one of a kind. And obviously I've been in college a little minute now, so I haven't really, I think this and my last year's team at Chattanooga was some of the closest I've seen, and around, if it wasn't my team, just looking at other programs like you just mentioned, or just the programs I've been around. So he definitely did a good job of putting the right people, not just the players, the right people in this locker room.
All right, so that's good to know. Good guys. And what about waiting 3 weeks to play, or almost 3 weeks to play? That's the situation West Virginia's been in. What has that been like, having to wait to get back on the court and play in this tournament?
Honestly, weird. It was kind of weird because, I found myself in the house with Morris. We're watching March Madness. We're just watching the games. And then, you just think at halftime when, the game's not on, oh, shoot, we still have to play basketball. I forgot. But because I've been in those situations before. A couple years ago, I'm watching the games damn, I can't wait till next year to play. But now I'm like, oh, let's go to the gym. We have to play. So it was kind of a weird feeling, especially with the time that we have off till the crown. Because, last year in the NIT, we started right away. So there was no wait. It was okay, we knew who we were going to play. We're going. So it was definitely, that's all I can really say. It was kind of weird. But, I think it's good. Selfishly and personally for me, getting a break is you come back rejuvenated. And I feel like, I found my shot a little bit better. It's my legs under me a little bit. So I think it's a give and take, but I think it was positive for us.
As you can tell, Honor Huff had a lot of fun playing for the Mountaineers this year, which is great to see, and his enthusiasm kind of infectious. How would he sell this program to future recruits and future transfers?
I would just say, if you want to grow not only as a basketball player, but as a person, this is the best place to be. Just this coaching staff and the way they teach you, like I said, not about how to put the ball in the basket, because we can all grow in that facet. But we've all come here, especially as transfers, with the experience of putting the ball in the basket, of winning games, but just growing and your mind to life beyond basketball and using basketball as a chance to enhance your growth. I think this is the best place to be. Coach Hodge, he's a wonderful just person, not coach. He's one of the most personable coaches I've ever had. Just be able to go in his office and just talk to him, just about life or basketball. talked to him in his office for like an hour and a half one time. He was like, well, I got to get to this meeting. You got to get out. It's been like that sometimes. So just – and like I said, the locker room that he creates, you want to be a part of that. Because, again, you hear stories of people in locker rooms that just don't suffice in terms of a whole season. So just – if you want to accept the challenge, too, that's the thing, too. They're going to push you. I think I've grown on the court tremendously, especially like my point guard abilities, my playmaking, my ball screen, like defense, of course. Let me not forget to mention that. Defense, of course, but just growing all facets of your game, I think this is the place to be. And I think he already started off great with, getting the 5-star Miles and the 4-star in the Loom, like all these guys that he's bringing in. I mean, they're going to do something special here for sure in years to come.
Interesting thoughts there from Honor Huff as he reflects back on his 1 year in the program. One more cut here. Some insight. Amir Jenkins obviously out with had surgery this week, actually, the torn labrum in each of his shoulders. And Honor Huff had some pretty interesting insight on Amir Jenkins and what he's been through late in the year.
I can say this now because Coach Haas said it on the Three Guys podcast. It's funny because when he tore the other one, I'm the first person he came to. He was like, bro, I think I told my other one. I was like, huh? He's like, I got the same feeling. I was like, what you gonna do? He was like, I'm playing. And it just goes to his heart and his desire to be out there for us and just to play the game he loves. I mean, he could have tapped out a long time ago when he hurt just the first shoulder. So to be able to play through both where he can't even lift his arms and it's hindering his performance, he still just wanted to be out there. Like, he was mad when he couldn't play if it wasn't for the injury. So just his heart and for a young guy to come here who's supposed to be in high school, it's admirable. And it's something that motivates the rest of us. It's just like, well, if I have a little bruise in my leg, like, I can't say much. I mean, he's playing with a torn labrum on both shoulders. So what am I going to complain about? So I just think his heart is truly motivating. And I'm glad I got to have this experience with him because that's obviously one of my better friends on the team and just in life. But obviously wishing the best for him in his surgery as well on Wednesday.
Yeah, Honor Huff there on Amir Jenkins' situation. I thought that was pretty insightful there as well about the toughness of Jenkins, and hopefully he'll be one of the players that returns healthy next year and this team can grow around. 304 Talk 304 Texter, listening to Honor Huff there, Texter says these kids are constantly on with the potential social media power. Yeah, that's part of it, but I think that's just a big part of Honor Huff's personality too. It's a big, bright, full personality, and we've seen that all year. Another basketball game, Texter points out that the Marshall women are playing in the WNIT championship game. So some more basketball to focus on there. Texter has a baseball question, 304 Talk 304, and Texter asks if the changes in baseball are among the most influential of any professional sports, and that's really a good question, and it is. The Texter is exactly right. I mean, the game's completely changed with the pitch clock first and foremost, which I think saved, at least at the major league level, saved the game. Incredible in terms of pace of play and the improvements that's made, and then you add ABS this year, which I think has been a resounding success in terms of getting calls right. I mean, it shrunk the strike zone a little bit, but I think baseball wants more offense to begin with, and the ABS changes, the implementation of ABS has really been seamless, and I think it's improved the game a great deal as well. So that's a very good point. Now, other games have changed a lot too. The NFL doesn't resemble what it was in the 70s and the 80s in terms of just the brutality of it. It's still a brutal game. There's still a lot of injuries, but I mean they've eliminated, or they've done their best to make it a safer game and eliminated a lot of the headshots. So the NFL has changed considerably, probably to the better. But baseball certainly. I mean, with the pitch clock and ABS this year, I'm still not crazy about the Manfred man. I could do without that, at least early in extra innings. Maybe if a game stretches on to 12, 13, 14 innings, you implement that ghost runner. but that seems a little bit artificial to me. That's the one thing that I'm not crazy about. But I think everything else that baseball has done in the past 5 years, I think all of the changes have been incredible. Texter says, Honor Huff, what an exceptional young man, well-spoken, and spoke from the heart. And I agree with that. I mean, those comments were earlier in the week. We just haven't had a chance to get to them yet, but I thought they were well worth playing tonight because potentially, hopefully not, but potentially this could be Honor Huff's last game in a Mountaineer uniform, and he's really, really been a bright light for this program, even though the team didn't win a Big 12 conference championship, didn't make the NCAA. Still, they've been fun to watch, and he's really, really been a bright spot and a bright light. We'll take a break. More texts to come. 304-TALK-304. We're back on the Sportsline after this.
If a fire occurred in your home, would your smoke alarms work? Don't wait for a tragedy to find out. Smoke alarms are designed to give you and your family the precious seconds you need to safely escape. Test your smoke alarms every month by pressing the test button until the alarm sounds. Depending on the type of battery in your smoke alarm, you may need to change the batteries at least once a year or whenever the low battery warning chirps, and never remove the batteries for any reason. Remember, having working smoke alarms is not only a good idea, it's the law. A message from the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's Office.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Stay connected to what's happening today in West Virginia.
What about this and what about that? And it just went back and forth. And I was just the guy reading the text. Okay, so what's your take on the whole thing?
Well, now you just get me fired up. Now
Right.
you just
So
get
I'm
me
gonna
going.
turn on. I'm gonna run down to Wendy's and grab a burger, and I'll be back.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for midday on Metro News Television.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
Sportsline for this Thursday, final couple of minutes. And again, we'll try and bring you some of the comments of head coach Rich Rodriguez tomorrow night. And again, Greg will be back in the studio, and we'll break all of that down. Also, news today of a verbal commitment for the Mountaineer football team for 2027. Linebacker Mason Suravac committed to West Virginia. Middle linebacker had some offers from some MAC schools, was generating A little bit of interest from Big Ten schools, Buffalo, Central Michigan, Kent State, Miami, Ohio, Toledo, UMass, and a few others in terms of the offers. And he commits to WVU, again, for the class of 2027. 6'3", 230 pounds, middle linebacker Mason Surovac committing to the Mountaineers. Also today, of course, I think Dave talked a lot about it during Hotline. Connor Griffin is expected to make his Major League debut coming up tomorrow night in the Pirates home opener, and they signed him to a large contract before he even played in a Major League game, which is kind of a trend the last couple of years. You try to lock these guys down who you believe are blue-chip, can't-miss prospects. So Connor Griffin signs long-term and will make his Major League debut for the Pirates coming up tomorrow night. Women's basketball news, Audie Crooks of Iowa State entering the transfer portal. She'll have one season of college basketball eligibility remaining. 6'3" junior from Iowa and leaving Iowa State. They've lost a lot. So she was second in the nation in scoring this year, averaged 25.8 points, 7.7 rebounds, shot 65% from the field. So an unstoppable force inside. Audie Crooks leaving Iowa State and entering the transfer portal. So I'm sure there will be as much interest in her as any player that enters the portal this year. Audie Crooks of Iowa State. Again, the Mountaineer basketball team coming up in about 1 hour. It'll be WVU against Stanford. Mountaineer baseball team tomorrow night. That game will get underway while we'll still be on the air. So a lot to talk about tomorrow in terms of the West Virginia Central Florida UCF baseball matchup and this game tonight from the Crown in Las Vegas. The Mountaineers against the Stanford Cardinal, the first time these programs will have met since the 1950s, and it should be exciting and fun to watch, and we'll break it all down coming up tomorrow on the Sportsline. Greg will be back, and, of course, hopefully Brad won't. Hopefully the Mountaineers will have won, and they'll be planning to play games on Saturday and even on Sunday from the Crown in Las Vegas. But for now, thanks for listening and watching the Sportsline. We'll be back tomorrow night with a Friday edition of the CityNet Statewide Sportsline.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet Statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.